I'm Shawna Lee. This is Infinity Readings, and this is going to be the reading for Pisces for the Easter spring equinox season. So we'll get into the cards here. Thanks for coming in. We're going to have above and below split of energies, so we'll work it out through the cards. So the first card that we have for your grounded energy on the 3D Earth for you, Pisces, is the Ten of Swords. And this is a different Ten of Swords. Usually the Ten of Swords comes at us as like stabs in the back where we're defeated. And this is like 2 steps after that. Energy is the sense they're giving me. It's where maybe someone put upon us some kind of energy, but we are rising from the ashes of this. Spiritually sound, spiritually evolving through some kind of a challenge is what I get here. And we're free of these swords that have penetrated in other cards. Like, I'll show you the traditional card from one of my other decks, and you can see where all the stabs are in the back. And this is, like I said, this is after that. It's like, the overcoming of that kind of drastic energy. So this is here. It's the beginning process. This is part of the story that Pisces is going through here. As we move into the next grounded energy card, we get the Five of Swords. That's about victory, and it can be victory, how would you say, at the expense of someone else. Usually that 5, it's like trampling on people, this kind of thing. I feel like we had been trampled on upon. They're showing me this blonde here on the left, and it's like, we gained success even though someone didn't want us winning, is the sense they're giving me. And we may have had 1 or 2 opposers here. One that was blatantly an enemy, and the other one that may have pretended to be a friend, but now they may warm up to us because, you know, we won the game kind of thing. It's like they didn't want to see you as a loser, but when you're winning, well, then they want to saddle right up next to you, this kind of thing. So you may have had some devious people in our energy, and if not in the physical plane, in a spiritual kind of way, they're not rooting for us from their heart. They're not wanting us to win. This is the energy that I get here. And this is also the energy we're overcoming. They said, make no mistake, we are overcoming this, and we are starting to see in our field who was and was not for our highest good. And unfortunately, that's a lot of the stuff that we have to heal from, is who it turns out to be. Now, as we move forward to the future, as I like to say on the grounded earth, we get the Queen of Cups. Yeah. And we may need some healing from this, but again, we're overcoming, because sometimes the truth hurts. And this is what happened here. We got the truth of who is truly against us. And like I said, one might have been overtly not in our corner, but the other one was a little more devious. Like the one in the blue here on the right, it's almost like they were saddling up to us to make us think that they were our bestie, or, you know, something that we truly didn't feel internally. But the person in the middle on the purple there, right? How they use the colors, black, blue is kind of like we speak, but we think of something else. We speak that we're with you, but we internally we're not. So yeah, this is all, and the purple is the evolution process. We succeed no matter. We find out who our enemies are, and we continue to evolve. That's what's happening here. But it is, it's hard on the heart, right? Because the Queen of Cups here, she's in disappointment, sadness, sorrow. She's feeling emotions quite heavily. So this is what is going on the grounded earth, where we may be in the middle of purging some of this stuff in order to rise again like the phoenix. So to expand on these cards, I brought in the curious creatures. So let's see what on the earth plane here, the Ten of Swords, again, the phoenix rising. This is a very different Ten of Swords. Usually you're down and out. This one is, you know, a new day is dawning. It's kind of like the Fool card with extra emphasis on freedom loving here. We're free from any of this betrayal in a way of not knowing who our enemies are. Now we know, and we can move forward. So the Curious Creatures card, to expand on that, 10, the Ace of Swords, yeah, which is the truth. We see through to the truth. And it may be our spiritual selves that have been telling on these people, and we may not even in the 3D earth, meaning on the earth plane, we may not have these people thinking. Like, how would you express? On the 3D plane, you may have these people still thinking that they're fleecing you, but we're seeing through these lies and deception. And we're definitely seeing who is opposing energy and who's, and I get a feeling for the Pisces, they've yet to find their crew, their team, like the ones that are like them internally. I think we're just breaking away or realizing what we need to break away from. And that's the hard part. That's why it hurts so bad, is because these were some of our closest companions, okay? And that's the Ace of Swords. It's cutting truth. It renders us victorious, but it's kind of a bittersweet thing, because yeah, we're victorious because we see the truth, but the truth is sad because we don't really have anybody in our corner here, is the feeling. So as we move into this victorious state again, I think there were people that wanted to win some certain, I don't know what it is, over the Pisces. They wanted to win dominance over the Pisces, and we didn't allow that, so in that way we are victorious. That's what I'm getting. So to expand on that energy, the Curious card is the 9 of Cups. Yeah, rubbing the lamp and getting what we want. Now, I feel like we're victorious, and this victory allowed us to unhinge from all that held us back. Because we had people in our sphere here pretending to be nice to us, They may have been utilizing us for different reasons other than core true heart values. This is the sense they're giving me. And we now see through that. Like the purple is the highest of the vibrational colors. I guess gold would be higher, but she's holding a gold cup. So, and our angels are ecstatic because we're no longer in illusion of, and when you're dealing with, because they want me to explain this, and a lot of you I think will understand this no less, but they want me to explain the scenario of, what if you have a lot of opposition around you? Okay, so you're trying to get ahead, and they're always strategizing to pull you under. When you are going, they can trip you up in little ways, especially if we have trust systems built, or what we figure are trust systems, right? We value their opinion, so they give us an opinion that's counter to what we think, and we may go off in that direction if we're not connected to, right, the right power, and we may trip up, right? And then they'll be there to see that trip up because they kind of revel in it. They revel in seeing you down. They revel in pushing you down under their heel, this kind of stuff. And it's, it's really just, how would you say, there's a lot of dark stuff coming out in these readings, but it's, we have to see the darkness to rise above it. And then we know, oh yeah, there's darkness. I want out of there. Like, this is the thing, because we just really never will get ahead because there's people around us that are just scrambling to keep us down. And we're seeing through that. And this 9 of Cups is the energy of being free of people tripping you up all the time, and it's like that. It's people, and you just really, they may not have been in your face all the time. They could be court, they could be even family, they can do things to you to put you down, some not recognizing, some knowing full well, and they do it to keep you down so they can, in their illusion, rise, but technically they're just on the wrong side of the tracks, and you're meant to flow. And that's what's happening here, is we're flowing above that, healing through that. I think we're feeling a lot of emotions because I think we understood who was directly, like the blonde there. We knew that they weren't a fan of us. But the brunette on the other side, it's like, oh man, And I feel like the Pisces kind of sitting there going, why would you spend so much energy? Because this is the translation problem, right? Why would we spend so much energy trying to make someone believe we like them when we truly don't at our core? Like the Pisces wouldn't do that, so they don't suspect that anybody else would do that. And that was the con, right? That was the thing we got over. So anyway, you end up coming into the Nine of Cups. Why? Because you're seeing the truth of the matter and unhinging from those people that want to sabotage you. It really clears you of a lot of energy. So we are able to, in a sense, make our wishes come true at this point, because there's some people, and I'm getting the sense they know what our wishes and dreams are, and they're really trying to sabotage it. Like utterly. Like if we want that dream house, whatever, they're going to go and buy it or get somebody to vandalize it or something. They're going to do something. Like this is how strongly this is felt. So I don't know if that translates, but whatnot. We'll go on to the next card. There's a lot of negative energy there, but the Nine of Cups comes in and says we're releasing from that. So therefore good energy can come in because we're getting rid of those people that would stop that energy from hitting us. This is what I'm getting. Now, Queen of Cups, on the 3D plane, we have to deal with this. We have to deal with being sabotaged. We have to deal with people hating us to the degree, like the Pisces don't want to be hated, but there's a certain point where it's like, what's going on here? Like they don't understand. So the energy is coming to the surface no less, and you may be healing from not only the people around you in the moment, but past energies as well is coming up to purge. That is a thing that will be going through the field of everyone, because unless we heal from our past disappointments and events and whatnot, we cannot accept the good energy coming in. So this is absolutely what is going on here. And if were in denial of anything in our past, it's going to come up and flush through the system at this time. So that's the Queen of Cups, purging those emotions. Even if we think we've dealt, there's still more to go here. So on top of that Queen of Cups, we get the King of Wands. Now, if we talk about an energy that we carry, it is going to make us stronger and more astute in choosing a better path in the future, because we have gone through all this dirt and muck. Now it's the cleanliness. We want to clean off our boots and, tidy ourselves up and move forward in a better way. And where we won't allow these things to happen again, right? And we have a better barometer for it, for what we've been through. Because, every situation, every lesson, right? You realize something more, and you carry that knowledge with you into the future. Even though it hurts, it's going to bring us to a more solid state. Because the King of Wands, he's a decision maker. He's very confident in the way he goes forward, and he goes out and gets what he wants. And in fact, it might have made us a little more assertive than we would have naturally been without the scenario happening to us. So that's that King of Wands energy. Now that could be someone coming in our future as well. So we'll get into the upper cards, talking about universal flow and whatnot, and I got my alien deck I'm bringing in. So we're going to expand on the Ace of Swords, and again, the rising of the Phoenix that's happening within the Pisces field here. What do the aliens have to say about that? We have the Empress card. Yeah. You are coming into Empress energy if you're a female. If you're a masculine, you're dealing with your feminine side. You're dealing with compassion, more caring, creative energies. If you're a masculine, you would be working to and through your compassion. You would be looking at the world through compassionate eyes, okay? So I want to say rose-colored, but that's got a connotation there of being naive. This is rose-colored, but not naive. We prefer to look at the lighter side of things here. And the Empress, yeah. So the feminine, moving into her power and whatnot. And again, these are kind of lessons we need to learn in order to get comfortably in that suit of the Empress, right? We have to be able to bridge gaps and whatnot. And this was kind of the final frontier for the Pisces to get through in order to be more self-confident, more self-assured, more powerful in the future. It's like some of that fire element went into the Pisces to make them more stronger, more secure. So the Nine of Cups, what do we get on top of there? Because that's really talking about us succeeding when others wanted us defeated and rising above that. And that's that Phoenix energy as well. It's like, yes, we are going to succeed here. It's meant to go in a different way than other people wanted it to, but nonetheless, on the Nine of Cups, what do the aliens have to say? Ooh, look at the Knight of Wands again. Well, it's a knight and a king. Give me moments. Yeah, they said stable energy. This is a very stable energy, this dude. And the Knight of Wands can be fleeting if he's a knight from a king. The king is all the kings are marriage material. So they're ready to settle down, ready. They've, sown their oats. And the Knight of Wands can be one to run around, but they're going, not this one. This one is stable and sturdy. Now, there's a great fire here because of that element, right? And they're showing me all the arrows and whatnot. Give me moments. There's a lot of energy coming from this knight, and he's sitting on a stool. They're going, look, he's sitting down. He's not on a horse. He's not flying through the air. He's in one place. So there's something to be said for that. Now, Knight of Wands can be very, because what they're making me feel is the mind is sparking. Like there's a lot of stuff this guy's in charge of. And with fire, they go to uncharted territories. They break trail. They open things up. So they get inspired sometimes before everyone else. They can be. And this one in particular he's got a lot of great fiery ideas that he can bring into the present. And this one in particular, I think they're going to lock this energy in for this guy. He's standing still. And that was the only trait that could turn him into a negative, is he don't stay still long enough to accumulate good things. He just taps and runs, right? So they're going, this guy, he's more knowledgeable about what transformations need to happen, because just keep showing me that butterfly in the upper right. They're going, this man transforms quickly and he learns quickly from his mistakes, and he assesses things, and he like there's a sharpness here in this energy. That's interesting. There's a new deck, so it's all new frontiers here we're exploring with these aliens, right? And the planets, there's a lot going on here, and look at the sun beaming behind him. So this is someone that may come into your universe here, or maybe a guide. That's it could be that. It could be a higher vibrational guide, and this is an alien card, so we're stepping into that territory, so don't leave that out of the mix. And this could be that we are connected from higher knowledgeable spiritual beings, okay? And this could be a guide, a partner in that kind of a way that is helping us transform and is learning through the Pisces. Wow, a lot of energy here. And this is someone who ain't going to leave our side, is the sense. Wow, this is almost... Yeah, because this guy, he has all of the positive traits of the knight, and he loses all the negative traits, is what they're saying. The negative traits can be fleeting. He does not fleet. He stays true to one person. He has great knowledge and ideas and creativity that he can bring about, and not only bring about in his mindset, but he takes action to make it a reality. He don't sit there and just look at things go by, right? Where the Pisces does that. They're missing this energy of I see all these things in my head, but I have a problem bringing it to fruition. This is the dude you want to talk to if you're having problems with that. He's going to help you with that. And then it comes on the Nine of Cups, which is wishing for all those floating things in the air. This is the guy that's going to help you bring it to fruition. So interesting. Now they're bringing me to the spiritual side. Now, if you are a spiritual Pisces, which if you're here, you would be one. You are going to tap into an energy center here in fire element that is going to download you with gifts of action taking that we never had before. Somehow, some way, this energy is coming upon you and downloading into you. And the sense they're giving me is this wasn't the original plan, but there's always alterations that can be made. And for whatever reason in your path, I think I know the reason. I know the reason. Can I say? They're going, if we're astute, we will figure it out. The problem is this is a gift from those that wanted the worst for us. They actually endowed us with this energy. And it may be in the form of a higher centered being coming to help us, it's like given the keys. It's a karmic thing. But again, it wasn't in your blueprint, but that doesn't mean that it can't happen. There's a lot of things that are in our blueprint, but things are malleable. And this is one of them. And this is one that was unforeseen by even the higher ups. The problem is that somebody was overblown working against the Pisces and all that energy because of the frequencies we hold on the earth plane at this time and the portals that open and close and accept and reject energy at this time. This is going to be it's beyond God in a sense. I don't want to say that it sounds sacrilege or whatever, but it's like an alteration of a path, but in a positive plane for the Pisces. Okay. This Knight of Wands is a higher centered being coming down to touch the life of the Pisces to help them forward because they have been so oppressed in the past. We'll just leave it there because it's just too much. I can't even explain it all. Right at the center of the reading, right? The center card, and it's talking about the higher realms here. So let's go on the King of Wands because I get a feeling this guy's, popping up in a few readings here. And not only is it people starting to get into their solid energy, but it could also be a person literally coming into our field. So on top of that, King of Wands, what do we have for the alien card? Here we have the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles can speak to greed. Here it is a different dynamic I'm getting. This person is looking and they're making me feel like these cards are like, okay, so the perspective here is we're looking upon a scene where there's cards and then in the background there's the aliens. What they're giving me is this is the blueprint that we're supposed to work out. This is the way things are supposed to go. And yeah, they're showing me trading cards. Ooh, okay. Wow. Kate, give me a moment here. King of Wands. Somebody here in fire element might have been wholly against us to the degree that they went into the higher realms trying to rearrange our life pattern, our life path, our destiny. Either take it, rearrange it, or remove something from it. Okay, this is what they're showing me. They're giving cards back and forth to the aliens. Okay, just give me moments. Oh, man. Yeah, we're going a lot deeper, but I don't feel the pain like I used to. To say this, okay, it's more accepted. Okay, Four of Pentacles is about greed. Now, the sense here is this person was taking out of greed. They're taking energy. They're wanting to rearrange things that not only are they not given the keys to do this, but they were they were on the darker side to trying to manipulate in order to get things done. Now what they have done is they have locked their own field out of any advancement forward, which is not good because that could literally mean life-taking events, and that's sad. That someone would go that far just to see someone else suffer. But, again, this is dealt with above my head. Like, this is all above my head. And the thing is that that energy that was utilized to keep the Pisces down is now being utilized for other things, in quotation marks. Now, the Four of Pentacles, this is, now, who's the watcher here? Because I'm showing the hands, right, holding the cards. Who is that? Is that me, or is that, they're going, that's universal flow here, and that's also the enemies looking at the cards. They saw into your blueprint for some reason here, and they didn't like what they've seen. And I think what they didn't like it going to you, and they wanted to take it for themselves, or they just didn't like what was there, period. Now, what they tried to do was, like they tried to, when you have, when you're playing a game of cards, and you have like 3 and you're looking for the 4th card to match that. There's a pair, and then you get the 3rd card, and then you're trying to get all the same cards, so you're kind of hoarding it to yourself. This is kind of the sense they're giving me. It's like we're trying to keep all them cards to ourselves, and in fact, we're trying to take the Pisces cards all together. Wowzer. So for this Pisces, you would be feeling the emotions quite heavily of this. The interesting thing is that this has been disconnected, not allowed. They're going big X from the above. This is not going to work. So I don't know if this was one or many people in a grouping of people thinking that they could get something from this person, when in fact this is to their detriment, and I'll say it that way. I've already said it one way, and I don't want to infuse any energy either way. I'm in neutral, and I got Pisces in my chart too, so you got to watch how you think about things, because everything, like veils, are gone. So you think negatively about someone, they'll get a headache right away. You can feel it, okay? And this is what's going on. But this person on the other end, it's interesting, because if they don't believe in all this stuff, what are they doing messing around with all this stuff? So the problem is they're on the upside down world, what I call, like the negative realm, right? Trying to take what is not theirs. That's the bottom line. And the universe is coming in here and grabbing the toy from those persons or people and removing that. And now the Pisces is free to go. And not only that, you're going to be gifted. Whatever that person took from you, you're going to be gifted on top of what you already have in your own sphere. And if you are a spiritually sound person and you do no harm to others, you will be working your way through your spiritual gifts. And then you will be rewarded on top of what you've already earned. So it's kind of like getting a Christmas bonus, right? But unfortunately, the payment does come from these characters that have infused the most negative of energies. And they are giving me, and I don't know if these people, like, to me, I was like, holy, I don't know if these people truly understand the sacrifice they had to make for this, or figured they could get away without paying. And the payment is heavy. In fact, it's everything that they are is the payment. And it goes, it transmute, because all that energy that person is now made up of goes and transmutes into positive, and it goes to the ones that it was taken from. Yeah, wowzer. Someone dabbling in energies that, again, if you're dabbling in this area, but there's like a disconnect there. It's like they know that this could happen, but they think it just won't. They think that when they do it, it won't happen. I don't have to pay for this. I don't have to. And that's, well, they're learning. So that's on top of the King of Wands. So it could have been a fire sign that did this. I do feel still that you are going to be working into King of Wands energy. It could be the Wands energy that this energy is going to be taken from and put into the... This is very... I feel dicey even talking about this. But the deal is that these people knew what they were getting into. They were knowledgeable, but their ego made them think that they could go undetected. And there is nothing that is undetected anymore. And yeah, there's heavy consequences here. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say there. We're going to expand on these alien cards. The Empress card, again, I feel like the Pisces working into their Empress energy. The Empress has overflow and is joyfully and caringly and lovingly giving outward. They could actually be starting some kind of, because they're showing me a ball of energy in the belly, and that could symbolize a pregnancy, but it could also symbolize a start of a process of life where things grow how do you say, to a degree where we create, you could create a baby, you could create a job, you could create some kind of thing universally. I feel it's big. Like there's some kind of a wave of energy that just comes from the Pisces and goes to the world, and it elevates things. That's all I can say. Other than that, I can't quantify it. I can't put it into words. So it's huge though. And the Pisces themselves may overlook it, but everybody that comes in contact with the Pisces, they won't. They'll see it and feel it, and it's heavy. So it may be a vibrational thing. We may just be a beacon. And what a beacon is a person that holds high vibrational frequency that everybody they come in contact with is changed by just meeting them and coming in contact with them. So on top of that Empress energy, what do we get from Metatron? Oh, silver and gold. Isn't that interesting? Health, vision, and mirror, wealth, worship, and purity. I feel like you're going to get a mirror. Somebody who may be going through their life in the same vein physically as you are. So if you have some health challenges, you're going to meet someone that has similar health challenges, and you both, how would you say, vent to each other and grow through that. That's another opportunity right there. Yeah, we may be getting visions of future timelines here, and I know I've had a lot of downloads in this area myself. How do you express the unexpressible? You may look outside in your day, like what happened to me, I'm trying to explain this. I could look outside into my universe, and where I've been, I deal with it day to day. You go to the store, you come back, whatever you got to do, pay the bill, da, da. You see your universe a certain way, and then you sit at home in your house and you look out the window and you feel the vibrational shift over there. You interact with it every day. You go out into that energy field every day. You don't feel it when you're in it, but you can sense it from afar. Okay, just bear with me. That's the frequency difference between where you are healing from and where you're going. Because it's kind of like they're showing me that window getting closer and closer and closer until it engulfs us. But it's that positive vibrational frequency that you sense already, but the healing has to complete in order for us to truly embed ourselves in that frequency and feel it. Because we go out there and we mix and mingle, but we're still in that lower vibrational field. And in the because I'm going with my example. In the evening, I feel a certain kind of way. When the sun sets and when the sun rises, there's a bulk of energy there. It's almost like I can see through more at those times. And when you look out the window and you see that building and it's the same way every day, and you walk up to it and you feel a certain frequency, but when you're far from it, I don't know how to explain it. If you've gone through it, you're going to go, oh yeah, that's what I'm getting. You'll either get it or you won't. And this is what they're telling me, is it seems afar at this time, and we seem like we're yearning for a universe we're already in. And it's because we're just 3 degrees of separation here. We just got 3 degrees of healing, 3 degrees of rising from the ashes, 3 degrees that we got to get through before that whole energy field plunks right on top of us and settles in. So, and then once that happens, look out, right? That's that light. They're showing me like literally a light ball going through. So I don't know, for some people, yeah, we're talking about light balls. Anyway, getting into the gold color here. Gold is always, it's the standard, right? When you're rich, you're gold. When you're high, I shouldn't use the rich thing. But even in the angelic realms, you have gold. It's a symbol of high, high, high. Above the purple zone, like we're high, we're protected, we're how'd you say? Of high vibrational frequency, and it's all kind of encompassing in a good way, highest vibrational. And we think of wealth, worship, and purity. And worship was the word, but again, we got to watch that in this day and age. But the sense is we are worshiping the right light, the right power, the right, and the purity is there to stabilize all of that. And that's the thing. It's like we're coming into alignment with our frequency that we've seen from afar. It is now coming closer and closer, because as we heal, it is going to be part of us. Wow, this is, advanced course here. Okay, as we move into this the Knight of Wands, right? This alien energy that I feel a great teacher. I feel a great mentor. Yeah, from above. Okay, I feel that highly here. And you may have a higher spiritual being, mentor from above, that is working with you. And I feel like karmically, okay, so something happened to the Pisces here that created great pain. That great pain and the not the effort, but the action of going through that situation created a karmic imbalance. That karmic imbalance has rewarded us greatly. And that reward is going to come through this Knight of Wands. As one, because that's one facet of the things that are going to amp up. And this Knight of Wands, that is a spiritual advisor. That is someone who sees through the veils even more than we can on the physical earth, even more than we can being psychically inclined, even more. They are going to be so much closer, so much more invested in our energy because of this karmic loop that was created. And I feel like this is a past lifetime over lifetime over lifetime that is accelerated. And what was supposed to happen here is, and what is supposed to happen to everybody is, karmic loops are supposed to degrade over time. If you're looping in an energy, like in a past life, somebody wronged you and they go and wrong you again, that's not supposed to happen. They're supposed to make it right in this life. Okay. Now, what's happened here for the Pisces is, no, they've doubled down on the energy of negativity, and they're going twice as hard as they did in the last life. And again, that's not what we're supposed to do, right? This is totally on the negative. So what's happening is the universe cutting off that energy. They're removing the energy, the negative energy from those people, transmuting it and giving it in a positive way to the Pisces. Now, this is what's creating these enormous gifts for the Pisces. There's a certain path that is supposed to birth itself through the Pisces, no matter spiritually. What these enemies have done is, in their process of wanting to destroy the Pisces energy field, they've actually embellished it and evolved it even further. They've quantum jumped it over where they normally would be if they just left things alone. This is what's happening through the Knight of Wands. I need to explain that. And it's that's the first time I've seen something like that or heard something like that. And again, sometimes I don't know how I feel about these things. I have to think about it, but this is what they're telling me. So the Knight of Wands, what do we get from Metatron on top of him? Complex Pentagon. Yeah, it may take a while to integrate these energies, and it may take a while of acceptance, depending on where you are spiritually. If you're very spiritually deep, which is the nature of the Pisces, I feel like there will still be challenges, no less, because we're going from grade 1 to grade 3. And, we're going to miss some stuff in between. We're going to have to catch up because we've been pushed forward, in essence. It's like, yeah, we're going, at a slow pace no matter, because they're showing me snails. And they're saying, the Pisces was really creeping along this path. And if we were, a little quicker and utilizing our abilities more frequently, we could have, maybe caught up a little. But because we are kind of behind the 8 ball, there is going to be some choppiness here. And it's like little circle, big circle. And the sense is that the waves we got to go through. And it may be emotional waves. We are essentially skipping a grade. This is what this karmic loop has created. Again, they were supposed to learn to be less aggressive, less toxic, less destructive. And what they did was they turned the other cheek and they went the other way. And they were more. And so what happens is they destroy themselves. In essence, all that energy gets put on the Pisces and they get skipped ahead a few grades, and then they got to amalgamate. So this is that complex pentagon. And the pentagon too is it's a safety thing. We are safe as we mold and blend with the new energies. And we're just going to be kind of booted forward a few grades. Again, this is what's happening. It's the only way I can say it. So as we move into the future here, good Lord. Okay, the Queen of Pentacles, we are going to have some emotional healing to do. And it is going to be fast forwarded. So we will feel things very deeply. And for the Pisces, that's crazy. Like we may be in a depressive state, but I don't see it lasting for long. But I feel it's going to be deep, hard, and fast. And it's going to be profound. And we may even get, like, we have a guide here to help us. We have a spiritual guide. We may not be tapping in as much as we could and answering questions and getting them to do, but we do have a guide here. So if you didn't know that now. I think we do know that. We're just maybe feeling these waves quite heavily and not knowing what's up. I think they know there's a spiritual problem here. Like Houston, we got a problem. Pisces knows that, but they're kind of confused as to why I get relief and then I get deep, and I get relief, I get depressed, I get relief, and I get like so sad. It's because we have to process all that was left, right? To advance, because we have to make room for the new stuff. And in order to get the new stuff in, we have to purge the old stuff out. And that's the emotional depths you're feeling about every little situation you've had. And even if you think you've healed, sometimes it comes back up. It's because if we have any purging to do, it will come up at this time. And for some years, it will be heavy, and it may be the heaviest you've ever felt. And you may, the sense they're giving me, okay, just trigger warning, you may feel like you want to give up on things, but this is the worst of it. This is the end of it, because now we're going to start to go uphill instead of down, this black hole. We may feel like we're at the worst, but we're really on the precipice of change. So, wow. King of Wands, I feel like that's our energy as we move forward. 4 Pentacles, that's somebody else trying to play their cards, trying to play our cards, trying to take our cards away. They're not allowed to do this. On top of that 4, what do we get from Vesica Piscis Divine Union? Oh my Lanta. Okay. If you haven't figured it out by now, listen up. What happened here was there was a divine union that was supposed to come into play here. And what's happened is that divine union was somehow spun in a way where they became your worst enemy. Now, they wanted everything that you had, but instead of working with you in a loving, caring manner, they wanted to strip you of it and take it all on themselves. Not allowed. Not allowed. Okay, That's the king, and that could be that King of Wands energy as well. Somebody who felt very strong and secure that they could take this and not. And I did get that energy. It's like, I don't have to pay for this. I can take it and it's mine. Because they looked into some kind of Akashic record, and all I'm going to say is they got it wrong. They just got it wrong. And now they have to pay for things that they misunderstood. But the reason they misunderstood is because they were trying to take from someone when all they had to do was share with another. And things would have or could have gone in a different direction. But that's not what happened here. Someone was trying to take our life. Now, that could mean a lot of things to a lot of people. But in the way they're showing me, okay, let's go back to the card analogy is what they're saying. The Four of Pentacles, all these cards, okay, say that's the Pisces holding the cards. Say the alien is the divine partner. They're going to take all the cards away. So that's our life. We don't exist if you take it away. So that's been reversed. Divine union. It was a divine union. And they got it mixed up. So, wow. Pisces, I'm sorry. And I'm sorry for the partner. But it's of negative consequence, right? So I'm not going to say no more. The astrological tarot to shut this should be interesting. I'm going to go from the book on this. What's the card? We get Sagittarius. Sagittarius is fire element. That is, could be someone who has that in their chart or who is a Sagittarius. Could be someone who is in this energy of wanting to take from you. And it is not allowed. They said it is not allowed. We are not allowing this to go through. Give me a minute here. Okay, let's read from the book. Keywords associated with Sagittarius: impulsive, independent, enthusiastic, happy, fun-loving, fearless, and kind. Sagittarians are frank, enthusiastic, and carefree. Fire sign, and their astrological symbol is the archer or centaur. A mythological creature, half man, half horse. They have an impulsive and paradoxical personality. And I do feel quite highly here like that person was supposed to be someone who cared deeply, and it was the opposite of what they felt. And I'm not going to dip into why that is. It just is. Yeah, that's weird. Okay. Paradoxical personality, and their character represents a balancing act between the animal side of the human nature and the human search for meaning. Legend has it that Sagittarius would shoot the arrow, gallop to where it landed, then shoot again, eventually covering the entire globe, delighting in every new experience to which the arrow led. This is the card that indicates travel and explorations. You'll delight in meeting new people from different backgrounds and cultures. Fun and adventure may be on their way to you. And with fortunate, gregarious Jupiter as your ruling planet of this sign, any person indicated is popular, cheerful, and a soul who plunges fearlessly and sometimes recklessly into the deep end of life. And I think that's what happened here. They went on an impulsive flight of fancy kind of thing. And they just were on the wrong track. And because they're fire element, they just go. They don't allow anybody to talk them or, sway them or whatever. And because they did this in such a drastic, resentful, bitter, and devious, destructive way, that's how it's going to come back here. Wow. Okay, so a cheerful soul who plunges fearlessly and sometimes recklessly into the deep end of life. Where an element of luck is in play, the appearance of this card is welcome and can lessen worries you might have. Now, I feel like this person is karmically, there's no luck going in that direction, the opposing. I feel like this is the epitome of the character of the person that opposed us. Like I said, they could be a Sagittarius, or they just have Sag in their chart, or they're just in a fire element where they just did something without thinking, which is what the fire elements are known for. And the consequences are more than they knew. They're more than they knew, And they might have even known, but disregarded. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to have to pay that price. You know, it's like there's a sticker price here, but it's like I'm not paying that. I'm going in there. I'm going to give them the $50 and I'm taking it. And they figure nobody's going to run after them and demand more. This is kind of what I'm getting here. So however that plays out, wow, this is heavy. So for some of you Pisces in this way, this is something I think we felt intuitively, but we didn't want to admit on an emotional level. And this is what's hurting. Because not only are we disappointed by the opposition, people being opposed to us so strongly in this way, but we also have to heal from the fact that even though we're going to benefit here with gifts, there's going to be a loss of life. Pisces, that's your reading. I can't even. Again, I don't know what I feel about this. I just have to filter what I see and let it settle where it settles. Somebody's got to hear this. So I will leave it here. A divine partner is become a divine enemy, and therefore, when you oppose a divine character, there is a divine price that has to be paid. And this is what's happening on the other end. Now, if you listen to my readings, you'll figure out who that is, because I just did a reading and the other side of it is in there. So that's that. Take care, have fun, and be kind of lost here. It's heavy. And there's not much can be said. Again, this is above everybody's heads on the 3D plane. This is above and beyond. It's in the ethers. It's in the realm of God, Christ consciousness, all of it. It's in the higher realms. And there are certain things that just can't be accomplished. And this person didn't know that, but they will realize that through this trip. So, take care, Pisces. And we will talk soon.